Yep. Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday we learned about various JavaScript reference techniques and output. In JavaScript output, so we learned about what? So, how to use an alert and a confirm and document dot write. These are the options. Now, some more options we have. Inner text. Inner text. Inner text is actually used to, so it can display message into any container element. Into any container element, if you want to display message, then we can use inner text. Container element means it can be a div or a span or data terms, data definitions, table cells. Anywhere you can display normal text. There you can use inner text. But what is point is, so container element means it can be a div or a span or a paragraph or so data definition, data term, table cell. So all these comes under containers. Anywhere or headings and all, anywhere you can display text, so you can handle. So what is the problem here is it will not support any markup or formatted content. Any markup or formatted content is not supported. That's what actually inner text can do. So we have to just use inner text element have inner text is equal to whatever the message. This message must be a plain string. It cannot have any markup or formatted content. For that, we can use inner text. So let's see here one example for this. So we are using, our project is this one, Flipkart. So in this, we created a page earlier, and this page is going to display delete. Okay, it is going to display message on a new screen. I don't want on a new screen. I want the message somewhere in the page. In the page itself, I want to display. So in the page you want to display, then you have to allocate a place for it. In the page where? Suppose under the button, in a paragraph I want. Then how we can access this paragraph and display inside? So on true, this time we have to access paragraph. How to access that paragraph? Paragraph is not having any ID or name. Then how do we access? We can use query selector. Yesterday we learned various reference techniques. So what we have to do, document dot query selector. I can freely use this because only one paragraph is there. If there are multiple paragraphs, again I cannot use query selector. I need to give one ID for that, right? So in the query selector, we have paragraph and paragraph dot what? Inner text. Inner text, we are displaying some text. So here I will put a message. So record deleted successfully. This message we are giving. Now, when I say delete and I say OK, the message will display in that paragraph. It can be a paragraph or a heading or any content. But what is problem with inner text is inner text will not allow formats. Suppose I want to display this message red color. So if I want to display in red color, I am using a font. In the font, we are setting color is red and we are displaying this message. And when I say here delete and say OK, then it is not displaying that in red color. It is displaying plain text. So inner text will not allow any formats, right? Same thing is inner HTML also. We have inner HTML. So it is similar to inner text, but allows formats. And markup. It allows formats and markup. That means if you want to display some formats, and show the formatted text, then you can use inner HTML. You see now here, I'm just using, so instead of inner text, I'm using inner HTML. And let's run this and see now, delete and say OK. Then it will display in red color. So inner text, inner HTML. That is the difference here. So the syntax is same. We have element. Inner HTML is equal to some message, or you can put some markup. That's what inner HTML can do. So inner text, inner HTML, you have another one. One problem with inner HTML is, for example, I want to display inside the paragraph, I want to display this message in a heading style. So I am using H2. In a heading style, I am displaying H2. Like this, we are adding. Now, the point is inside the paragraph, delete OK. It is displaying as heading. Now, problem here is actually what is the problem? Observe. So the problem is this is not just heading, inside paragraph heading. So why 2? Why paragraph, inside paragraph heading? You have to replace this paragraph and put this heading. That means now see actually in the inspect, when you go through it, you can see that in the elements category, here, we have body, and in that we have a paragraph, and in this paragraph there is heading. That means now it is not required for a paragraph if you are using heading. That means inner HTML means it will display this markup inside that markup. We don't want inside, we want to just remove this and put this. That means we want to remove the heading paragraph and display this heading there. Then we have to just use outer HTML. Outer HTML will not add into existing. It will replace that existing. That means it will remove that paragraph and it will add this heading now. So you can see here. So we are using, and there is paragraph now. Now when I click on delete, I say okay. It will replace that paragraph with heading. That means now there is no paragraph. Paragraph is removed and heading is added. Previously what happened? Paragraph is there. Inside paragraph, this is added, right? So when we are adding any markup and you want to remove the existing, you can use outer HTML. So it is used to remove the referred element and add the specified element. So inner HTML will add specified element as child of referred element. So outer HTML is going to remove that and add it. Inner HTML is going to remove, it is going to add as child element of that particular. So without removing that element, if you want to add, you can use inner HTML. You want to replace and add, then you have to use outer HTML. So syntax similar to that. We have an element dot outer HTML. And this is some new element that you want to keep in place of that. That is how we need to define. So we have inner HTML, we have outer HTML, and inner text. I will keep this example. In this example, you just change those three things on true. You test here inner text, inner HTML, and outer HTML. There is another option. We can use text content. We can use text content. What is the concept of text content? You see, delete, and I said okay. Then it will put the text content inside this paragraph. Text content is same like inner text. It will not allow any formats, right? Suppose you want to display the text only the text you want to display, then you can add that. That means the text content is going to add that. Into the paragraph we can add. Then what is difference between inner text and text content? We have inner text is there. Inner text you can see, I said delete, I said okay. Inner text is also same. Inner text and text content both are same. But what is the advantage of text content is we prefer in the modern JavaScript to use text content. Because text content is good when you are dynamically adding any content. Currently, we are statically adding some content. If you have to dynamically change the messages, you want to dynamically add the messages. Currently, message is standard. If you want to change the message dynamically, add message dynamically, you want to create elements dynamically. In that case, text content is good. So many times people use inner text only, but from the modern versions of JavaScript, we prefer using which one? Text content. So you can go with the text content also. So another option we have text content. So it is similar. It is similar to inner text, but mostly used while adding content dynamically into element. Mostly used while adding content dynamically into element. So if you are creating an element dynamically, which we will see later how to create element dynamically. If you are creating an element dynamically, then the content can be added as text content. It can be added as text content. So we have to just use element dot text content. And we need to put some message here. It will not allow any formats. It is not going to allow any formats. Same like inner text. How to create our own elements, that you will see in next levels, how to create our own elements. So you have so many output techniques. You have alerts, you have conforms, you have inner text, you have outer HTML, inner HTML text content. We also have console methods, but console methods are not for general clients. They are not for general users. Actually, console is nothing but console is a command line tool provided by browser. Developers can test their commands, using the command line tool, using console. Generally, JavaScript people, before implementing any functionality, first they test the functionality. Is it properly working or not? How it is going to work? That they can do using this console. If they want to know about any object that they are trying to use, any function that they are trying to use, they will get that from the console. Actually, console, every browser have a console. In this browser, you can go to console. There is a console. In this console, you can directly test your JavaScript. Suppose you want to know how alert works. Then you put an alert and you put some message, some line 1/n, line 2. And I close here and enter. It shows that and display. So what is it? Syntax error. Okay. And it shows that and display. Any functionality, suppose I am defining like x equal to 10. So y equal to 20. So x/y, it shows that result. All the JavaScript functions and functionalities we test here. So suppose we say document dot write, and what to write? Welcome. So, and it will write that and show. So we as developers will not directly implement any logic without knowing what it is going to affect. So first we will have a preview of where it is going to affect. Because see, you learned a technology. After learning the technology, you are not ready as a real-time developer immediately. Because you need to know the environment. So every project environment has some differences. That company, if you are a fresher, your team lead will guide you. That means you will be attached to a team. The team lead will tell you what is the concept, how it works, where which and everything. But if you are an experienced person, they will just give you few documents and they will say that after 1 month we will come back to you. If you are an experienced person, you are into a new company, they will not touch you for 1-2 months. Just they will give you some documents and say that you go through them. This is the project. Currently we are working. And after 1-2 months done, now project manager will call you and he will test your skills again. He will ask you what you understood about the project. Have you gone through everything in our project? You got a job, you taken 2 months salary, and after that your manager, you will not meet your manager immediately in a company. At MNC levels, you will not. So very rarely, right? That means after 1-2 months, the manager calls you. You have to talk to him. He will understand what you understood about the project. At that moment, if manager feels that you are not appropriate, he will kick you out of that company. Right? You may celebrate like I have job. You take in 2 months salary, but third month you are not there. So because that's how generally happens in companies. You will not be immediately thrown into a project. So first they will test. They will test. If you are a senior, they will send juniors to you. They will say that, so train these juniors on this technology. If you are a senior, you have to train them. And if you are unable to do that, then they will come to a conclusion that you are fake. That's how they even test fake people. That means you've gone through fake experience. So you anyhow managed your interviews through proxies. You went into a company, but there you can't survive. It's waste of time, right? You can't survive because they need to first understand your skills in project level. And remember, while working in a project, blindly, if you write some logic which affects the existing content, then it's a big issue. That is the reason every code that you have written will go through several reviews. Before you really implement that code in that project, you will have a trail run. We will have trail run of program. After that, it is integrated into that part. This is trail run area for JavaScript people. That means it is the console where we test the commands, where we learn how it is working. We will understand everything. So if you want to track messages, you can display there. For example, see here, user clicked delete button. Then we will say console.warn. Warn is a warning icon. Console.warn. I will say that delete clicked. Okay. After that, when users say okay, so that means now console.error. Error is a different style. All these are different styles of displaying messages. Warning style means exclamation will come. Error means cross mark will come. Info means I will come. That depends on browser again. So here error saying that so deleted, or we can say that okay clicked and record will be deleted. That's how we do. Now, what is the point here is if they say cancel, then console, I will say some info. Console info, it says that cancel clicked. All these are trackers. That means, for example, you people, when you are doing any work on a website, so you are doing some mistake, and but you are not noticing that mistake. then immediately one team will be monitoring that, which will come back to you. That means, for example, you are making some order on Swiggy, Zomato, somewhere, and you are unable to place the order, 3-4 attempts failed. Then immediately a person calls you saying that, so we see that you are unable to place your order. Do you want any help? How they know that you are unable to place the order? That means whatever activities you are doing, they are tracking, right? These are very important. These are not displayed to general outside, but in the background, they are there. That is what the meaning of console. Console logs. What is meant by log? The meaning of log in general technical terminology is tracking the activities. What we done, at what time we done, everything. That is what we call as log. So you can log. There is an option, console log. For example, I am just defining here one more option. So you see now. So I click on delete and I click on cancel. Then it will show you cancelled. Okay. Then 2 messages are here. This is a warning message. And this is an info. Actually, this browser is not supporting. Some browsers will put here I symbol. I is for info. You might have seen several pop-ups in your operating system. I will come. I info. Red cross mark means error. For example, you see delete and again OK. Then it shows like OK, click record will be deleted. This is an error style. These are not for general people. These are for developers. Finally, when you are publishing a website, this must not be there. You should never keep these console things inside browser. These are only meant for development stage. In development stage, when you are developing an application to track the activities happening, we use these logs. Finally, when website is being published, you should remove all those lines wherever you have kept this console. That is only for development, right? So we have so many console methods. So console methods are contextual methods. Contextual means just like success, danger and all. We have like error, we have like info, we have like warn, we have like log, we have like debug. All this comes under contextual. All are displaying message only. But only the point is all are different icons, symbols will come in different browsers. So some browsers may show all same, right? But some browsers can have different icons for them. Majority all browsers will have icons for warning errors. Other icons depends. It depends on browser, right? So console methods are used by developers to track the activities and notice the happenings in the page. This can be seen in the console of debugger. It is not for general people. So what is the note is, so console methods cannot be, console methods must be removed from page. So must be removed from page while publishing the page. So it is only for development, not for production. Only for development, not for production. Production means going live, right? So this is the basic various output techniques available in JavaScript. I will copy this example also here. These are the console methods. So there are so many output techniques. What are the basic output techniques we have? We have the output techniques like alerts, confirm, document write, inner HTML, inner text, text content, outer HTML, and console. So again, same thing. There is no point like which one is best, right? All are used in different situations. So these are output techniques. Next important in JavaScript, we need to understand how input is handled. JavaScript input techniques. What is the meaning of input? It is the process. Input is the process. Input is the process of reading value from user. It is the process of reading value from the user. That means user can input a value into your application. So this can be done. And for in JavaScript, how we can allow him to input, how he can input. So JavaScript input techniques. Most commonly used input techniques, we have a prompt, we have form input elements, and we have a query string. These are the JavaScript input techniques. JavaScript input techniques, that means they allow user to input a value and they are used to read the value from the user. For example, I will give a simple option here. What is difference between these three? I am creating a page. Let's create one page. I will put this as input.html. In this page, we are adding here. So input I am configuring. Now usually what we do is we are creating a button. So like add new folder. That's a button. Now what should happen here is this add new folder should add a new folder. Means just a functionality. So what should be the name for folder? It's not asking anywhere. That means it should provide an option to allow to input the folder name. Okay, I will create a folder by what name? So from where user can input? So how user can input a value now? So on this button click, on click, what it is? Add click. I'm just writing add click and script type as text JavaScript. And here we have a function add click. On add click, how you can take input from user? What are the various ways? First thing is you can take help of prompt. You can take help of prompt. Actually, it provides an input box which pops up in browser window. It provides a input box which pops up in browser window. What is the point here is, so you can input a value. You can input a value. That means you can add a value. So, but the problem with that is you can input a value, but it is It is just plain text content, nothing else. That means whatever you input, it will be a plain text content. It's a normal string. Even you enter a number, it will be treated as a string only. So, and it allows to input only single value inside. But this is enough. If you are looking for only one name, then you can go with prompt. So prompt can be used. So syntactically, prompt uses a message and a default value. It uses a message and default value. It is going to use a message and a default value. It uses message and default value. Default value is optional. Without default value also, you can just give a prompt with a message. Default value is not required. So how this works, we will see. Here some more points are there again. Actually, you given here prompt and say enter folder name. Enter folder name. And when I click on this button, then a prompt will pop up. In this, user can input a value. And there are two buttons, OK and cancel. Now, can I add one more text box here? No chance. Can I change those buttons? No chance. This is a browser window. You can't change anything. So if you want your own elements, I want a checkbox, I want a radio, I want a drop down, no chance. This is just window related input. And it will have only one option. What is that option? Text box. Right? If you want, you can create your own. How you create your own? You learned already Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, you can use a model. By using model, you can create pop-ups. But this is default available with window. And how it is going to work now? Actually, this prompt is going to return so many things. What it will return is, if you have clicked OK, so without value, then it returns empty, null. This indicates empty string. If you return OK, so with value, then what it will return? It will return that value. If you click cancel, so with or without value. So with or without value, you click cancel, then it will return null, not false. Confirm box is going to return false. On OK, it is true. On cancel, it is false. But this prompt is going to return this. So we have three consequences. You click OK with value or without value. With value, then it will return that value. Without value, then it will return empty. And you clicked cancel with or without value, then it is going to return null. So we have to write logic for that. So whatever is returned by this, we have to collect and we need to store. Then what we will do is here, as of now, say, to access whatever entered here, I want to store its result. Then I will just use a folder name. Folder name is equal to that prompt. Folder name is a variable. As of now, I am giving variable names just simply like that. It will okay, it will work, no problem. Later, you will learn the rules, how to declare variables and what are the points about variable. Now, folder name can be empty, folder name can be null, or folder name can have a value. Three consequences will be there. If it is empty, if it is cancelled or null, then we have some messages. If it is not, then we will put the folder name below this in a paragraph. So what we will do is, here, one more is that this prompt can have default value also, comma. So default value, I am giving new folder. And it is going to display that default value new folder. You can remove that and you can add. If you want some default value, you can put it there. Now, let's write the conditions. First condition, if folder name is equal to empty, that means they clicked OK without any value. Then we will put an alert saying that folder name cannot be empty. This we will put. We will write another condition, else if another conditions. Another condition is if folder name is equal to null is a keyword, then we will put alert. Null means they cancelled. That means here we will say, please provide folder name. That's the message we are giving. Otherwise, that means it is not empty, it is not null, means it is having some value. Means else, we will put document dot query selector. Which one? Paragraph, inner HTML. We will put a message. Folder created by which name? Plus the folder name, whatever the folder name entered. That means to this string, we are displaying this message. After that, plus I will put a BR. BR will put a line break. Now see here, I click new folder and I click cancel. Then it says, please provide folder. Okay. So I click folder. I removed empty. Okay. Then it says folder name cannot be empty. Okay. I entered folder name, movies, and it will get that folder created movies. I'm just adding new folder. I said music. It will get music, but it is replacing. I should not replace the paragraph content. I should add to that paragraph content. Then we can use a simple logic, plus equal. This indicates keep already what is present here. And to that, add this one. That means without removing the previous, it will add to the previous. So now what happens? Add folder, movies, it will get. Add folder, so music, it will get. Add folder, you click cancel, then it is asking provide name. You click OK without anything, it says cannot be empty. So you entered some name. So, and I am defining some name, some softwares, and okay, that is that. This is how we can take input from the user. But there are so many restrictions here. We can input only plain string. Suppose I want to take a password. This is not suitable. I want to take a number. This is not suitable. Of course, you can enter numbers, but everything is a string. Again, you need to translate that string into numbers. That we will see. So, but this is actually the prompt. So how we can handle the prompt? You cannot customize this prompt. We can just use as it is, right? So this is example for that. Let me keep this example. So we are allowing the user to input a value. So by using prompt. Prompt problem is we cannot customize. We have to just use the plain text content only. Okay, let's see now how we can handle input in a more better way. If you want input in a more better way, you can try form. You learned form. Form have a lot of input elements, text box, number, password, checkbox, radios. You can use them. Let's see. We will design another concept. That means form input elements. Form input elements. So HTML form provides an UI for handling interaction with data. So form have various input elements from where you can input a value. And what are those? The form input elements are we have like text box, we have like checkbox, we have like radio, we have like drop down, we have a list box. So many are there. We have text area, all these. We have password, we have number, all these are there. So by using these elements, we can design our own input controls. Let's see how to create that. So we will take one simple example here. Means what are the form input elements and how to handle them. Right? Let's see. So let's go to the design. And I will create a new file. Let's name it as form input. That is form input .html. Now here in that form input, I'm adding all the bootstrap thing. Form input I will give. You know how to set up complete bootstrap. Link relation is href is node modules, bootstrap icons, fonts, bootstrap icons. Another link relation, style sheet, and href node modules and bootstrap. Bootstrap dist css bootstrap.cs. Okay, so and we have here scripts in the script source. So node modules, jQuery dist jQuery.js, and one more. So node modules in that bootstrap dist js bootstrap bundle.js. So here we will keep the class container fluid. And here we have a div. This div is having an ID as so some register container. And another div, we have an ID details container. Two containers are there. In the register container, we have a button, register product. So class margin top 3. and class BTN and BTN primary. The register container. So it is now when user clicks on register product, a like same. In that user can input the values. User can input the values. Let's see here. I will go to containers. I will create a div class model ID product ID. The model have a how to design the model. Class is model. Content. In this model is what? Header. Heading I am defining here as the heading as register product. And we have a data, another div. The class is model body. Inside model body, is name text box. Input type is equal to text. ID as txt name. Okay. Next. Class as form control. You know, text box have form control. Another data term is price. Data definition input type is equal to number. ID as txt price. Class as form control. After that, we are giving a select here we said some what is it? Some drop down I will keep. So that means shipped to. Shipped to, and here we are having a select. Select have an option like Delhi, have an option like Hyderabad, like this. This have a class form select, and it have an ID LST cities. Sorry, this is enough, na? Anything else not required? ID is enough. That's fine. Next, what? Another data term, stock. Data definition input type is equal to checkbox, and ID as OPT stock. And here we have a label as available. Okay, then for this checkbox, we have a class form check input. Here we have a class form switch. Already we know how to design that, right? Now, next one, in the header body, and we have another div. So we have a div. In this div, we are giving the class as model footer. Model footer is having a button, say register, and we have a button cancel. So class BTN and BTN primary, and we have another BTN and BTN close, BTN cancel. This is like danger. Okay. Now this model should close when user clicks cancel. Data BS what? Dismiss. Dismiss is what? Model. I want to creep a cross button also here. So button, so class BTN close, and data BS dismiss. What model? This model is not displayed in the page. You know that it should open on button click. So how do we define it? On this button click, we are adding data BS target. Target is what? Hash register product, and data BS toggle. Toggle is what? Model. Okay, now you see, I click on this register, it will pop up. So in this, we have name, we have price, we have shipped to, and we have stock. This is our own pop-up. Just like prompt, we created our own pop-up. Now the point is, when user clicks register, it should collect all the data and display. It should display that. So I click on cancel, it will be cancelled. Where to display? Actually, I have a details container. In this container, I will say product details. Product details. In this details container, we will add a data list, data term, so name, data definition, ID as LBL name. Another price. Here we have an ID as LBL price. We have another is stock. So ID is LBL stock. One more term is there, data term, that is shipped to. Data definition, ID is LBL city. Suppose I am just giving LBL city. Now this product details is here. Now this have a class as row and class as call 3. So here all these are having 3. And all data definitions will have class as call 9. Like this we define. Right? Okay. Now 3 and 9 like this. All data definitions 9. Usually they display side by side. I'm adding after every data term, let's keep a simple style. So here, wherever data term is there, margin bottom 20 pixel. Some gap will be there, that's fine. So wherever data term and data definition, for both of them, it will get that. Now, this product details should not display directly. It should display only after user enters the detail and register. So as of now, I need to keep it hidden. Then how to hide this container? We need to just put a style display as none. Display none, it is not going to display. When you want to display, when user clicks register on model, that means we will go to model register button. This is the model register button. Here, 2 things should happen. One, it should close this model. So then data BS dismiss is what? Model. And another one, on click. So register click. On register click, we have to write a logic here. So we are writing a script. So type is text JavaScript. On register click, what should happen? Function register click. On register click, I need to display the details container. And when we display the details container, we don't want this register container. Then we can toggle it. Document get element by ID, register container dot style. For register container, we need to apply style. Which style? Dot display style. Should be what? None. And the document get element by ID. Next one is details container. Details container dot style dot display. Display as what? Block. Display none, display block. Now you see here, I click on register and I will enter some data and click register. Then it should display the details. So what it is happening, it is container spelling. Container is that details container. I am clicking register. It should get that and show. Now, how to collect data, we will see that. So in this details container, I will add one more option. In this details container, we will add a button. This will have a span, class BI, some pen fill. And we have edit and class BTN and BTN info. And you can see I click register. I click OK. It will get that edit. On this edit, I need to pop up that again. Then what we will do is on this edit, data BS target, hash register product, data BS toggle. Toggle is model. That means I click on register product. I click register. Cancel means nothing will be there. I click on register. Then it should display the details. I click on edit. Then it should pop up again. Now what should happen here is when user clicks register, first these details should be collected and stored, displayed in that label. Process. Up to checkbox, it is simple. Checkbox little complex now. So let's do the logic here. We have to write a logic on which button click, register click. On register click, already it is showing and hiding the container. Here we need extra work. What is that work? Collect the value from first text box and display in first label. Right? What is the label ID? Label ID is what? LBL name. What is the text box ID? TXT name. So it's very simple. Document get element by ID, LBL name dot inner HTML is equal to document dot get element by ID, TXT name dot value. That's simple. Same document get element by ID, LBL price dot inner HTML, document get element by ID, TXT price dot val. Another one is document get by ID, city dot inner HTML is document get element by ID. What is it? LST shipped to dot value. That is drop down value. Now this is enough actually. Only checkbox is pending. So let's open this. Click register product. I entered some name. I entered some price. I selected some city. And I am not writing logic for this, right? I just register and it will open with those details. Shipped to is what? It's ID what we given for drop down. LST what? Cities. That means we need to get here LST what? Cities. LST cities dot value. So register product, enter the details, enter the price and select a city and register. It will open. Stock we need to verify. Stock what we have to do? We need to check whether the stock checkbox is selected or not. So what is the stock checkbox? Stock checkbox is having an ID OPT stock. So here we will write two things. One is status, stock status. Stock status is initially empty. That is one variable. Another is stock checkbox. How to access stock checkbox? Document, get element by ID. What is it? OPT stock. That is a stock checkbox. If stock checkbox dot checked, that means if it is selected. If it is selected, stock status, we will keep it as available. Otherwise, we will put stock status as out of stock. That is the message we are going to display. This is enough. Now this stock status I need to display in the last label. Last label is LBL stock. In the last label, we want to display stock status. Document get element by ID. LBL what? Stock dot inner HTML is equal to stock status. Right now, everything looks okay. Register product, enter the details, enter the price, and select a city, stock, and register. It should get that and display. So whatever details you entered, we are collecting and we are displaying. Now here one more point is when user clicks edit, it will open edit. But when user clicks edit, this button should be changed to save. Because you are in edit mode, it should not be register again. Right, then we will do one simple logic for that. So where is edit button? If this is edit button, we have to write on click. On click, what it is? Edit click. Okay, on edit click, we need to access register button. Register button don't have any ID. ID I will give as btn what? Register. That means now we need to write a logic here. A function. What is the function? Edit click. On edit click, we will access document get element by ID. What it is? btn register. btn register dot inner HTML. It should be save. And document get element by ID. btn register dot class name. Class name is CSS class name, not class, because here class is already a keyword. It is a keyword of JavaScript OOP concept. That's the reason you have to use what? Class name. Class name btn success I will give. That is the class name and that is the inner HTML. Now see what happens here. Register product. I entered some name. I entered some price. I entered the city and the stock is available. Or it's not selected. Then register, it says out of stock. And I click on edit button. It will open that and this is save now. I'm making changes. I added some price and I said available. And you can see the price and these are available. That means we are able to update those details here and display. Just edit, it will open that. So we are making changes into this. We are making changes into that. And we are selecting a different city and status is out of stock. Then it will display out of stock. So this is taking value from the user and displaying. So what is difference between prompt and input? So form input. In form, you just saw only 3-4 controls. Like that, we will see all others. Check boxes, radios, list boxes, so many will come. This is not an example. This is just a basic syntax. Don't think that you learned a big example here. Nothing. This is after all JavaScript beginning. Right? And you just saw a simple input. just a simple input. So this is just not, we haven't entered into JavaScript yet. We are learning what are the various ways of input, right? So much more complexity will come. So many more things will come. So we have two basic inputs now. One using a prompt, another one is form input elements. So in form input elements, your wish, you can create anything and you can define, right? This is a complete example. I will copy this example for you. This is the form input elements, how you can manage the logic. We will see some more examples, how we can handle the input. Form input, another one is query string. That we'll see in next session, right? Tomorrow we can see some more examples using input, right? Then we will go into language now. Language means variables, data types, operators, statements. That is what programming language is about. That we will see in next sessions. Okay. Right.